Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Krusty's Funhouse with me, Mr. Mark Luckable. In the last episode, what did we do? We went into Zone 3, World 3, Level Hub 3, with all these crazy patterns on the walls, and we did the first 4 levels maybe? And so here's level number 5. Oh, you know what guys? I realised one of the benefits of post-commentary. It suddenly dawned to me after recording this footage for this episode. And you know what it is? It's that I can now drink a cup of tea whilst making a video. You can't do that live. A lot more difficult live, but now I can sit back, watch the footage, talk over it, and then every now and then take a little sip of tea because I need it, alright? I need it after recording this. I'm worried because this game is getting very difficult. And again, not difficult in the sense of pure challenge. I mean, we haven't had too many levels that are based around timing. There have been a couple of levels where you have to race against the clock against the rats as well. Otherwise they die. There have been some levels like that where you have to be quick, but for the most part, the difficulty, like I said before, is in the patience you need and the sheer willpower to cope with dodgy controls. Because I haven't really talked about the controls yet in this game, and just the things they make you do. So. This level right here, this isn't too bad, except for the fact I keep falling off the blocks. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm staircasing my way up to get a fan block. So yeah, I'm just, as you can see, I'm taking one block, moving it back up, except I keep doing that. And I think I do it a few more times as well. When I try to place it on the edge, there you go, like that. It's the controls. They're not the best. They are you can't move very minute amounts easily, and for a game where you need to do that to get onto the edge of a block in pretty much every level, that's annoying, where you have to get to the edge of the block to do it right. And when you have dodgy controls, oh boy, it gets frustrating. It's yeah. So you have things like that which make it annoying. Controls wise, I'm sure we'll find out many more control quirks. I mean, for the most part, they're okay. It's just that on a D-pad, you can't get that. Well, no, that's not true, because you can. Some games you can get very, very minute levels of movement. It's not because of the D-pad, so it wouldn't be because of the NES D-pad. I don't think so. I think it's the game. Because Mario, you can for the most part, you can line up your jumps well. I mean, that's why it's such a good game, is because the controls are so tight. But for this game, not so much. It's very difficult, but you get used to it. But there's also challenges in just in the things it makes you do. You'll see this at the end of this level, more so. Sorry, at the end of this episode with the last level I play. But yeah, just. Patience, a lot of patience required. And then when you have problems like health shortage with no way of getting it back, and ammo shortage for shooting the stupid damn flying pigs, then it gets a little bit frustrating. But I don't want to be a negative Nancy. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I am still enjoying playing this game because there is an upside to all of this. And that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. It is challenging, and you know what? You don't see that. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I don't play many games today, modern games, that are very challenging. I purposely, this is quite a recent thing I've started doing, but I've started playing games on an easier level. Now, I could get into this. This is a big topic here about growing up. Okay, gather round, children, and old Joe will tell you about growing up. But it's something I've really realised when you have a job which takes up a lot of the day, 9 to 5, whatever, 8 to 4, 10 to 6, doesn't matter. A long hour day, basically. And when you don't have much time in the evenings, you do have to think about what you're going to spend your time on, because otherwise days will just zip past and your life will just go before your eyes. It sounds depressing, but it's true. If you do that, if you just drift, then you won't get anything done because you don't have enough time. And so when it comes to gaming, that's very interesting. Now, I've mentioned before how Let's Playing has, in a way, ruined playing games for me, because now I'm always thinking about Let's Plays, and after recording Let's Plays, I don't necessarily want to just play games on my own anymore. And you hear that from lots of YouTubers, actually, and how it's ruined gaming just for the sake of fun, just for the sake of gaming. I wouldn't say it's ruined it. I recently really enjoyed playing through Batman Arkham City, but then even then a little bit of that was live streaming, but never mind. So yeah, what was I getting at? So yeah, when you come back in from work and you have only a few hours before you got to go to bed and wake up again the next morning, you can't be playing a game where you're stuck on a level for 2 hours, because that's half your, once you've eaten food and once you've showered and watched a bit of TV or whatever, that's all you have left, that time wise. So you can't be getting frustrated and annoyed for an hour or two on one part of a game. At least I can't. I like to make progress, otherwise I feel like I've just wasted my time. And so that's why I've been recently picking the more easy difficulties. And this has got nothing to do with the game. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but hey, this is this is one of the things about post commentary, is you can just ramble. This is my thought process. Okay, it seems a little bit lame that I'm playing on like an easy setting, or the enemies aren't very difficult, and you have more health, you take less damage. It seems kind of lame. Not much challenge there, right? Correct, there isn't. But how I see it is, if I complete the game and I really enjoyed it, and I could complete the game because I made enough progress, I didn't get bored of it, I didn't get tired of it, I didn't get frustrated. If I completed the game, I can always go back and play it at a higher difficulty. Like, that's what I'm tempted to do with Batman Arkham City, because I played that and I did things you should not be able to do. Like, I was just jumping in the middle of people with guns and taking loads of damage and then winning, which okay, seemed a little bit flat, but now I know that I really like the game and I like the basic mechanics and I like the story and everything. I would happily play through it again at a higher difficulty. Yeah, I think so. So what I'm trying to get at, basically, is for me, gaming has become easier, and you hear that quite a lot from discussion threads and news and whatever, how gaming does seem easier in general. A lot more guides available, a lot more. Not so much guides, actually. If we just stick to inside the game itself, there's a lot more help. The game gives you a lot of help, or some games, in terms of maybe map navigation, or hints, or tips, or tricks, or cheats, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know enough about modern, gaming today. I don't really play enough games to comment about that. But I think there's some truth in it, and that's where this game comes in. Man, I really am rambling today, because this game, I'm forced to play it on a difficult setting. There is no easy mode for this game. Krusty's Funhouse is just Krusty's Funhouse, and you know what? It's difficult. I've said it's difficult, and it gets challenging, it gets frustrating, but in a way, I'm kind of enjoying it. In many ways, I'm hating it. Alright, maybe hate's a bit strong. That's why I needed this cup of tea, which reminds me. I was tempted to get biscuits. We have got some caramel digestives, but that's just too much. That's just unprofessional, because this isn't. But eating biscuits, oh no, no, no. So yeah, but I'd say the difficulty of this game, and I mean, we're only on World 3, by the way, guys, and I think there's 5 worlds in this game, so it's going to get more difficult. There's no beating around the bush. It's going to get more difficult. In a way, I'm kind of looking forward to it though. And here's the thing. I think it'll be really satisfying as well if you manage to beat these levels on your own accord, rather, and you know, got past this stupid bit that made no sense because you worked out what blocks go where. And that's something that you might not necessarily get if it's really easy. It's that sort of risk and reward thing in a way. The higher the risk, the better the reward. But just change risk for difficulty and reward for satisfaction. I think that's generally true, right? If something's more difficult, then you feel better by doing it. I'm not going to lie to you though. I'm not going to lie to you viewers out there. Now I sound like a disc jockey. I suppose Let's Playing is kind of like being a disc jockey. Anyway, I'm not going to lie to you. I've had to use a guide for some of this, a guide online, because some of the things I would never imagine to do. And when you want to get a video out, you kind of have to. Now I know there's a little bit, but I'm not too fussed about it myself. I hope you're not either. Look at that little rat there. Floating. But yeah, just for like, sometimes you need to do it in a specific order, like kicking blocks in a specific order. I think that was probably the level before, actually. I think it was the level before. And I have a go. Don't get me wrong. I have a go at these levels beforehand, but 9 times out of 10 for some of them, I just need either you get it or you don't. I find, and most of the time I don't. There are some easy ones which are like, oh yeah, okay, that's obviously what you need to do. Other times, not so much. Like here, I got a bit confused and then ended up making them do a little dance. Look at this, woohoo! I think I just do I leave them like that? I can't even remember. No, I think we end their fun. Sorry, little rats. I truly am confused right now. Or maybe I'm just so hypnotised by their movement. But no, to kind of cap off all that rambling, this game is difficult. I'm used to playing easy games now because I'm a lame-o. So this game is providing a very interesting Let's Play experience for me. Because I don't really think I've Let's Played many difficult games in the past. You could argue that getting 100% of things is fairly difficult, but most of it is just kind of collectathon stuff that I did. So collecting all the cards and wasps and gags in the Simpsons Hit and Run, collecting all the Vuratech cells and doing the side missions of Destroy Humans. They're things that are more grindy rather than pure difficulty. There is a difference, right? Yeah, there definitely is a difference. Like you could say that's grindy, but there's things like Super Meat Boy and those sort of indie games which are all based around you need to get past this level. That's difficulty in terms of pure challenge of using the controls and using timing and jumping and platforming. I mean, I'm saying this just for platforming, but I suppose you could do the same for racing, you know, to try and get the best time. I don't know. This is what happens when you post commentators. You just end up rambling about nothing in the end. I think I need to go back to my tea. Oh, but here, look at this right here. This is the level I was talking about. This is the one where it's just the things this game makes you do. So you see all these lovely items lined up. Pipe, pipe, pipe. Corner pipe. Fan. Loads of stuff there. We need to get them from the right side to the left. And the only, well, not the only way you can do that, but the way it wants you to do it is by bouncing along these springs like this. You see me bounce? There you go. And I end up fast forwarding this because you do that, you take damage. You end up dying quite quickly. You take damage from the snakes, you die. And so I think I may have used some save states for this bit. And yeah, there you go. There's me using a save state. I was using it every time I got an item from the right to the left. And there you go. Doing that over and over and over again. but that gets kind of annoying, this sound. So eventually I just cut. But suffice to say, I did eventually get all the parts across. It just took, it must have been about 5 minutes, 5 solid minutes, which doesn't sound like a long time, but think about 5 minutes of solid jumping like this. It was long and not very good to watch, so there you go. And if you get stuck, if you screw yourself over in terms of health, or not having the right ammo, like I couldn't kill those snakes, and sometimes I only had 1 bit of health left before I knew I was going to die. Oh, it's so annoying. It's almost like you're trapped in like a weird Groundhog Day. When you use save states, that's the problem you can face. When you save state at the wrong time. I remember, not exactly a save state, but when I used to play Pokemon Red, back in the day, and I was at the Elite Four, I remember saving, because when you beat someone, you went into that little room where you could access your computer, could you? No, what was in that little room? There's something there, you could buy stuff maybe? But they let you do something in between each battle. And I saved in one of those rooms. And it just so happened that all the elements were against me, because I didn't have enough to buy a potion, that my Pokemon didn't have good enough health, and in some weird way, I'm not quite sure how it worked, but basically I was stuck, and I could never beat the next person in the Elite Four, and my game save was just screwed over because I couldn't advance anymore. And you can do that very easily in this game as well, where you only have a little bit of health left, which you can tell when Krusty starts panting, and there's nothing you can do to avoid getting hit sometimes, and so you're just stuck. Like that. Well, you could avoid that. Just jump better. And those jumps, by the way, those spring jumps where you bounce from one tower to the next, not tower, but platform to the next, they are set out in the most sneaky way possible, because you'd think you could just go bounce, bounce, bounce. One to the next, to the next, to the next. Really nice and easy. No. The way that Krusty jumps, they are spaced out just enough so that by the time you get to the last one, you always miss it. It is very frustrating. Almost as much as the sound those rats are making, because we just trapped them in a weird loop thing. As you can see, we trapped them in a corner pipe. We did that for a reason, by the way. But it's just to kind of keep them there whilst we design these pipes. There you go, we'll let them go, they head upwards. Not the best noise, but then in general, this game doesn't have the best noise, does it? I realise I'm really moaning about this game today. I really do like playing it. It's just, it's a talking point. It's just something to discuss about the challenge of it, and sometimes the frustrations with it. Because there are good points as well. I'm sure we'll get onto good points at some episode. Maybe they're not immediately obvious. But like I was saying earlier, some people might find the challenge really, really fun. I'm finding it quite fun. Things can be fun and frustrating. I think I screwed myself over here as well. Yep. Down they go. Shouldn't have done that. We needed them to stay back up here. So now I have to settle this back up again. So unforgiving sometimes. Yep, there they are. Back down there, you little gits. But no, I'm sure there are plus points. To anyone that's played it, watching this, if you played this game when you were younger, I assume when you were younger, because who would play this now? Only fools like me. Did you enjoy it? Did you get stuck? Because that's a whole other thing I didn't even have the chance to talk about today, because this episode's wrapping up. But how on earth could you do this without the use of guides? When it first came out in 1990 whatever. How? I mean, there were guides in the form of like Nintendo Power, I guess, but it's just mind-boggling to me how some things were ever completed. It really was. Either kids were smarter back then, or they just, maybe they were on the playground. Oh, yes, you do level 5 of Krusty's Funhouse. Well, that sounds kind of weird. I don't know if that was the case or not. probably had a lot of patience as well. We're very short, very much a short attention span, especially me. So that doesn't help with games like these. But I think that is all the rats killed in this level. There you go. You can see my points go up. And that, I think, is going to do it for this episode. Whew. I'm going to get back to my tea. Next episode, we will probably finish off this world hub. There's only a couple more levels to do. And we'll move on to world number 4. Until then, thank you very much for watching. And goodbye.